this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Grandmaster Jerry Fastly Fontanez, and this is the VIP side. Check this out. Check this out. Normally, I go live to Facebook when I start this off. However, I should say, but and everybody has one. I'm gonna do this different. Why? Because versatility, artistry, that's something that I respect. Now, this gentleman right here that I'm going to introduce, he's a man with 100 names. So I'm not even sure what name to call this guy half the time. His name because he has his government name, he has a bunch of other names. So without further ado, I want to know, sir, how would you like to be recognized, and what name do you presently want to use, Mr. Barnes?
Hey, the Grandmaster Kevin Thompson called me Wazir. I'm a Wazir under him. Just call me Wazir. That's a
Okay, now,
Wazir L. Wazir
okay,
L. That's all.
what's there? Okay, and that's good enough for me. So, guys, this is my point. I think it's important for people to understand that you have an option to address people, and sometimes I'll ask people, "How would you like to be addressed?" Because it doesn't make me no difference. That's their thing. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this interview slightly different is because, in other words, we're not going to Facebook Live as of yet, because I want to make sure that you understand something. And to be honest with you, the reason is because I only got two hands, and I don't want to mess up make the video whack, because I'm drinking. But I asked you a question before we started recording, and the question was, how many videos have you done? And then the answer I already knew before you knew it, a whole bunch. And
Yes.
the next question was, how many videos will you do? And my answer, I already knew how much you're gonna do. A whole bunch more. That's it. And a whole bunch more. But I also know, based on something that I've done personally, that when we look at videos, we're not happy with our videos. I want to talk about
Not
that.
at all.
Tell me what's the deal, because I know people. It's sad to think that other people will call that showing off. Like, what? Showing what? That I need to jump higher? That it's not as good as it used to be? Let's talk about that for a second. Standards.
Right.
Why are you doing so many videos, and what is it? What's your intentions with it?
Well, first of all, what got me started was a friend of mine. I used to film myself and send it to him, and then he told me about Facebook. He said, "You need to share this stuff with Facebook," and that's what I started doing. But at the same time, I'm my biggest critic. I'm always looking to improve or get better, or to be able to do what I used to could do when I was younger. When I was younger, my videos would have a lot of uh, split kicking, like Van Damme. I was very hung up on the helicopter kick, as he called it, and yeah, when I'm doing it, I'm always critiquing, trying to get better. That's my ultimate goal,
Yeah, you versus
because
you.
exactly, because technically we are our own teachers. We teach ourselves
Yeah.
martial arts.
All right. So I'm gonna have to shift gears over here, because now we're gonna go Facebook Live. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're on Facebook Live. This is Grandmaster Jerry Fastly Fontanez, and I apologize because today I'm getting creative. Why? Because I can. Okay, artistry is creativity, and I want to switch things up. So when it's all said and done, Wazir L literally is one of the students of the legendary, rest in peace, Asatita,
Us.
little Ka, Kevin Thompson, Kevin Brown, Eighth Wonder. Man, my man had this whole crew from Jersey got a whole bunch of names. Without further ado, sir, how you feeling today?
Feel fine, feel great, stay in shape, don't gain too much weight. That's what we always say.
Oh,
It's
hip hop, you
accuracy of
don't
martial arts.
stop. Hip hop, you don't stop. So we started this off already through Zoom, and those of you in the VIP get a chance to get the behind the scenes of what we just did recently. And those of you on Facebook Live, thank you for watching. But when it's all said and done, this is one of the Unified Martial Arts Network OGs. This gentleman competed in the first event, came all the way from Pennsylvania, and is highly appreciated. But he does something that's unique. So I want to start this off a little backwards, because usually I want to hear what was the inspiration, motivation, and desperation to start off in the martial arts. But before that, we're going to start off with a little candy, a caveat. you competed against yourself. And I know you said this. I apologize for being redundant, but you said it. What you're doing is, as a matter of fact, for those of you who see right there in my profile, I got you versus you. It says it right there, you versus you. And that's what this is all about. So, with some of those kicks, and you said Van Damme, and for whatever it's worth, man, people, when I started doing the jumping kick like that, and they started mentioning Van Damme, I'm like, bro, I did this 5 years before. Let's go to the videotape,
That
but it
is
was the same
true.
thing.
That is so true. That is so true.
So you
Yep.
said that your friend, you were sending him videos, and the videos that you were sending him, you wasn't happy about it because, of course, we always want to get better and better at best. And he said, "Why don't you share it with Facebook?" You saying, "Face what? What the heck is that about, right?" and then because again, this guy has so many videos, and what I love about it is that literally people could only dream of doing one of those kicks at any age, let alone getting older. But what makes you keep going?
Um, Actually, seeing other people perform. I always get motivated too by watching my teacher's old forms when he do kata. That also is inspiration for me. I think about him all the time because I never saw him not be perfect. It's hard to say that, but I never saw him not be perfect when he performed or when
Yeah,
he taught class.
high
Never.
standards.
Yeah,
There was a different breed of people that had honor in bowing. Every move had to be done at the highest level of quality. Otherwise, that will be a problem. That's
exactly.
standards. All right, so we might as well start with that. What was your inspiration, desperation, and motivation in martial arts? What year was it when you actually got the chance to do it, and then the style and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I want to say it was mid 80s. I got started all due to the fact I'm the only child in my family. And plain and simple, I was bullied. Um, in grade school, I would always fight back, so that made a difference. But people had family members. I didn't have it. It was only me. So
No backup.
my mother had a friend named Anima who told her about this guy, which is Grandmaster Kevin Thompson. We call him Masatita. Let me call him Masatita. That's what we call him. And she took me to his dojo at the time, and that was it. That was my introduction into martial arts. I saw uh, guys on the hardwood floor because you remember how the floors were back then. It, it was no padded floors how they have now. Hardwood. The dojo was, oh my God, cold. Uh, but it would heat up with our body heat. You'll see a real dojo. You see the windows fog. Oh my God, yes. But
Well,
yeah, he
for
was.
whatever it's worth, excuse me for interjecting. For whatever it's worth, you see where I work out, right in the hallway of the Boogie Down Bronx, baby.
Yeah,
I did that
yeah.
back in the 80s. I was locking, popping, booking, and breaking. Do the same thing with freaking martial arts to this very day, keeping 100% real. When it comes down to it, you don't make excuses, you make moves. And just make things
We
happen.
used to
That's
call
it.
that basement. We used to call that basement martial arts.
Yeah, that's the well, you always end up there, rooftop, around the block, basement, and then you go to
Right?
freaking YMCA, PAL, or Madison Square Garden. Make me no difference.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and the style at the time we called it because he comes from I can never say his title that well. So Grandmaster Kareem Abdullah. At the time, we knew him as Kareem Allah, and the style at the time was called the standard style straight. You're standing in a standard style straight fighting position where your arms and body are straight at a 45-degree angle. That's what he taught me in the beginning, and I trained with him for many years. All the way up until I want to say advanced green belt, and then I think I was like around 19, and then I started college that year. Um, me starting Essex County College, I tore the meniscus in my right knee.
Oh wow! Wait, hold
And
on 1 second. Essex County College. That's where he had his first tournament. That's where you
I
see
was
me,
there.
Crazy Legs, Mr.
I was
Wiggles.
there. I
Wow!
was there. Billy Blanks was there. It was a lot of
Everybody was.
people there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was.
it was. And again, we digress for a second, but the reason I'm saying this is because literally, what people call Azatita, Ka, Kevin, bro. You call him whatever you want. I call him my boy. That guy was my boy. Him and I roomed together in 1985 when we went to Canada.
Wow.
1985. Now he hadn't competed out the city, out the country, or went that far. We took People's Express Airline, him, myself, and Tony Morrison, and we took People's Express Airline where you paid on the plane. You paid for your freaking airline on the plane.
Really? I didn't know
Yes,
you do that. Oh my God.
that's what it was back in the day. It's crazy. It was wild. And
Yeah.
we got to the border, and I didn't know who I was with because this guy that asked for ID, I had no ID. This guy named Tony Morrison, his name was Emil Pottinger. I'm like, why? Who the hell is Emil Pottinger? He's Jamaican, and he showed this ID of him with an afro. He had no hair. Like, what the hell, Tony? Like, I was confused, right? And then I see, and then Ka, his name wasn't Ka, his name wasn't Eighth Wonder, it wasn't Asatita, it wasn't even Kevin Thompson. It was Kevin Brown. I'm like, what the
Brown.
heck?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even know who I'm walking with. You know, and it's interesting because literally they sent me back home because I had no ID. You know, in New York, we never walked around with no ID. It's crazy. And then Morrison happened to be Jamaican, so he says they'll let you into Canada, but they're not going to let you back into the country, the United
Oh
States.
wow.
They'll send you back to Jamaica, so you make a decision here. So he turned at the border, and K, as I call him, he went in, and then we met. I went home. I went home, got my ID,
Oh man.
took the train, the bus. Cause we took the bus, and then we went. I went. No, I took the train to the plane to the bus to go back, and took the train to the plane to the bus. Man, nothing was stopping me, and I
I
went.
hear you.
I
I
went.
hear
So
you.
that tenacity is something that's consistent. You are all the time in the gym, fighting against this bag, throwing kicks and punches. And I can appreciate that. I honestly, I'm not wearing the hat right now, but if I had one, I could take my hat off to you because
Thank you.
that's not talking about it. That's doing it. And you know what? I'm gonna have to apologize for a second, guys, because I noticed that I don't have this computer plugged in, and I want to make sure that we don't die. So please bear with me. I'm live on Facebook still talking as you're there, and I can edit it there. So I'm just gonna grab this wire. Guys, I'm doing this because literally there's so many people who sacrifice to get to events and they're martial artists and they have stories. And a lot of people just never get a chance to hear their stories. And I am not anti anybody, but I am what I consider pro. And what I mean by pro is this. I want people to go pro. Go pro to me means go professional. And if I can help people do that, that means that the industry itself increases. That's the reason why I'm doing these interviews, because they deserve it. All right, sir. So now you're 19 years old. You're in college. You had an injury, meniscus. I believe that's the knee.
Right. And um, I was fortunate because back then they used to take the cartilage out and then sew you back up. So I was fortunate they were able to repair it. That's what the doctor told me. He was able to mend it back together. I had to go through therapy. And at this time, uh, up in Union, New Jersey, because that's where I was staying, going to Irvington High, go figure. Uh, no. What I'm talking about, I was in no Irvington High. I was going to Essex County College.
Right.
So, so I lived in Union, uh, right around the borderline of Irvington, and I saw a Taekwondo demonstration. Some of them Reyes. and I fell in love with Taekwondo from then on. So I would visit his dojo. Now it's a different uh, terminology. They call in Taekwondo
Dojang.
dojang instead of
Right.
dojo. So I would visit his dojang with crutches, and he would give me exercises to strengthen my knee, mainly squats,
Physical therapy.
horse stand squats against the wall, while they duck walked around the dojang. And I stayed. Make a long story short, when I got better, he started teaching me Taekwondo. Uh, I noticed too the difference with Taekwondo, the kicking methods. It was different versions of a roundhouse kick. Where in my karate style, we maybe had one or two kicks. In Taekwondo, is many ways to throw a roundhouse kick. And I stayed with him. Make a long story short, all the way up until black belt, and I pushed myself in Taekwondo from then on until I met. I had a lot of instructors. Oh my God. I met you. I know you remember Rick Mayers, Rick the Brick Mayers, and
Yeah,
I
I
met
just I
him.
just put a video of him and I fighting back in 1985,
You
along with.
fought Brick? Oh man, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that day I fought Rick the Brick Mayer. I fought Andre Richardson. I fought Disco Dave Thomas, and I fought
Wow.
one of my mentors, Louis Bad Boy Lewis. And that was 1985. And Time Up the Last Dragon is there too. He's in the wake of the cameras. Um, you know what? It might have been late '84. It's between '84 and '85. I was 18 or 19. Yeah, but yeah, but it's on video. It's on Facebook. I'll tag you. People
You're
watch
not
that.
going to you're not going to remember the first time I met you. You was with Timac in Harlem performing. Y'all was sparring because y'all was a team. Y'all was sparring. Shaquille came there with his students and we performed kata. We did. I think I did uh, an empty hand kata and I did a screamer kata. This, oh
Well,
my God,
that
I
that
think
was
I was a
part that
yellow
was part
belt.
of that was part of Harlem Week. So so
Exactly.
so so what
That's the
happened there?
first time I met you in Timac.
Yeah. So
Yep,
so
that's the
there's
first
the
time.
interesting part is that that day it was inside of a ring, right in 125th Street in the middle of Harlem, Harlem Week. The person that right after that we went over to a gentleman by the name of oh my God, I'm going blank at his name. Holy smokes. Um he wrote I Believe the Children of Our Future. Oh my God. I can't believe him. Anyway, we went over to his house in Fort Lee, New Jersey, and oh my God, how am I forgetting? I can't believe it. Normally I'm on the money, but you know what? The last few days I'm on 4 hours sleep right now. And yesterday I had 4 hours too, so my brain. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
right,
yeah.
brother. I'm right there with you. I know how
Oh
you feel. I'm right there with you. That was a
anyway,
long time ago because I was
yeah,
a
but
teenager. I was a
wow.
teenager. That
Anyway,
was a
so that is
long time ago. Yeah,
okay.
but that's how I remember you. I was like, oh my God, look at this guy beat. I saw Timac as I started taking nothing away from him because I saw how good he was at sparring. But I was so amazed at your kicking ability, man. It was that was amazing. Other than Superfoot Wallace, that was amazing, man. I was
well,
so amazed.
I
But yeah,
appreciate
getting
that.
back to where I left off. Yeah, so when I started bouncing, which I'm grateful for Brick because doing working with him, that allowed me to. At that time, I'm starting to have kids now, and I'm married, so that helped me to pay my bills and buy fitty diapers. So I'm grateful for that. But he also had a rule where you had to train with him. So I also took lessons under him as well. He really got me better with my hands, and at that time too, he loved to use me because he was competing in hard points at the time that Kareem Allah was
Yeah,
promoting.
hard point is really full contact karate or
Karate,
kickboxing.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, so that, oh my God, so many instructors, man. Almost forgot about that, but shout out to Green School of Martial Arts. That's where Brick teach out of. That's family too.
Oh,
That's family
you
too.
said Green, so that's rest in peace to Theodore and also Tamia, who's a Mayor Green.
Yeah, Mayor Green, Ted Green.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
yeah.
he's a very good friend of mine. Very his dojo is always open to me. Always open.
Hey, you know, the father and I had a great conversation one time, and
Hmm.
I and this is one of the secrets that people just don't realize that Theodore Ted Green, Tamia's father, was from Ponce, Puerto Rico.
I didn't know that.
That's
Oh
right, baby.
wow.
Just so you know.
Wow.
So there is
Okay.
yeah, that's Afro Puerto Ricans there.
Okay. Okay.
we
Nice. I never That's something I never knew. I'm shocked. I never knew that. That's good
yeah,
to know. That
yeah.
is good to know. Yeah.
For what it was worth, you know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so now you've had this journey, and as how about competition? Did you do much competition? Because going to Harlem as a teenager must have been like a wow. You know, you see the last
Yeah.
dragon, you know, you see your instructor and all these different martial artists in the ring,
So yeah,
right?
I have competed in point fighting around the time I was a red belt in Taekwondo. I would compete in both Olympic style sparring, which you probably familiar with too. I didn't do too well in that. That's a very hard style because you really have to make impact in order to get scored. But point fighting, I would do good. I competed in um, Greens tournament. Uh, Tamir Green's tournament. I competed locally. I could also competed in who else? Grandmaster Eugene Floyd. I competed in a few of his tournaments. Everything that was mostly local, I competed in. I couldn't really travel. The only tournament I traveled in once was the one I told you about in Manhattan. I traveled there. I went there. I think I'm gonna see Chuck Norris. It still was a lot. Actually, Timac competed, and his teacher they were fighting, and
Van Cleef,
his teacher was knocking people out.
Van
Yep,
Cleef.
yep. He was knocking people out. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know you could do this. And I believe you really couldn't, but I think he got more leeway because he was a star there. So yeah, he actually knocked. I saw him knock somebody out in his match. At that tournament, I think I got second. I think I got second place that one year.
Do you remember
Uh,
what venue it was? What was the actual building?
it was Manhattan College.
Gotcha. The
Yeah,
BMCC, Borough Manhattan College, down near the village,
right.
not too far from the
Which
World
is
Trade
not in
Center.
Man. I believe it's not in Manhattan. I thought it was in Manhattan, but it's not in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now let's fast forward to now. You're a father of five, and
Hmm.
you're a martial arts enthusiast. You know, you're training and teaching. I say I green. So what happens after that? You're in your early 20s, I would assume, or mid 20s.
So late towards the end, I want to say I went back to my son Benem. He gave me because the school was closing out, so he promoted me to second. And at this time, I started getting into teaching, and I studied not too far from Grandmaster Shem School. I was studying at Rexplex, and then the guy offered me a job to teach Taekwondo there, and then I began teaching. And I
Oh,
also
the way
too.
the Rex Place, that's Elizabeth, New Jersey. Shim's also. I had a school in Elizabeth on Elizabeth Avenue, believe it or not,
Right,
between
right,
Tommy and
right.
Jerry's hot
By
dogs.
IKEA, by IKEA. It was by IKEA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
yeah.
I started teaching there. I have a picture of me with a nice afro, and I'm doing a split between two chairs. Yeah. So yeah, I was teaching at that time, and I also they used to have fight night um, in Plainfield. Uh, a guy who also was partner with Eddie Rowland, the guy who offered me a job teaching there, Taekwondo. him and Dan would promote MMA fights, and also competed in that. I didn't I didn't have the grappling experience, but it was an experience. I I did pretty good, but I lost to an armbar, unfortunately. So I also competed in MMA. That was something I wanted to go back to, but at my age, at 53, I stick with point fighting.
Yeah, but that's the thing there again. So now, presently, what's your situation in terms of again? What makes you? I believe you went from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, so you
Right,
relocated,
right.
right? So that's not, and I don't think that's too long ago. Within the last 2 years or so?
No, I moved to PA. I'm on my seventh year here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, oh yeah. Oh my God. I'm leaving so many hosts. So I got to try to bring it back to where I wind up at Shaquille, back with Asatita. So, big shout out to Shion Gomez. He was watching me on Facebook, exercising and calling out, giving praise to Asatita. And at this time, he reached out to me through Messenger, telling me that Asatita wanted to meet me. And I met up with him the following week, and we talked. Thank God, this is touching because he was able to talk then, because you know what he went through with the ALS.
Mhm.
And he reached out to me. He told me he wanted promote me to black belt, even though I was already a black belt in Taekwondo. Well, a second Dan in Taekwondo. And he was, at this time I have already been teaching aerobics, uh, teaching my version of Taekwondo karate, and he reached out to me. He heard all the great things because he also knew of me teaching after school. I was teaching after school programs in Newark too. He heard about all of that stuff, and he said he wanted to promote me on the fact that I stayed with the art and I still remember a lot of the stuff. And that night, I received my first degree black belt, and which his style is called American Karate Do. So I became a black belt under him, and I started back training uh, at the dojo from that point on. And then at one of the dinners at the end of the year, he promoted me to second. And it's funny because he somebody told me he wanted to give you the second because he never wanted to see you wear that second degree black belt
Ah,
at the school, which I never did. I always wore the rank he gave me. And then one of the he's now a professor now, but he reached out to me, um, Kendrick Gray, and told me that Asatita wants you to test for your third degree. So now I'm nervous because I gotta learn everything about this style. I gotta learn mainly almost all the katas, all the weapons, which changed a little bit, not that much, but I had to learn everything all over again because I didn't know what was going to be presented to me uh, during the
wow.
test. But then towards the testing, we did get confirmation what we were going to be performing. So my third, I tested. I went and Asatita,
I can
it is
imagine
not
how many
easy.
push-ups and sit-ups and how that must have been crazy. What?
2,500 jumping jacks to start.
Wow.
And he doesn't play. He doesn't play. And at this time, I'm like 45 years old. I'm 53 now. But yeah, so
Hey, you went
I
full
train
circle. You went full circle where you
full
started and came
circle.
right back. That's incredible.
I'm glad I finished something I started because he always advocate that if you know Kevin Asatita, he always advocate that finish what you start, and I'm glad he allowed me to do that. I'm glad he allowed me to do that. So getting back to competing, I competed at local tournaments mainly. That's what I competed, and I got first place. I can't remember this one guy name that I got first place at. It was in Springfield, New Jersey. He gave a tournament at a hotel. I competed, got first place in that. I know I'm jumping all over the
No, no,
everywhere,
that's
but
fine because realistically,
I'm trying to
if you
remember
haven't thought about it,
everything.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
haven't thought about it in a while, I mean, I'm forgetting the name of a freaking guy that like, God, Jesus.
Yeah, oh man, it sucks getting a little older. But the last time I competed, I did pretty good. I competed in Jack Star's tournament in
George
Virginia.
Benson.
Huh?
The guy's name is George Benson. He's the one that wrote
Yeah,
the
I know. Yeah, okay, yeah,
Jesus Christ. I
okay.
can't believe there's a picture of me, Mike Tyson, and George Benson and Time Up, the last dragon's mother. And I can't believe I forgot. George Benson was there that day. And then from there, we went over to his house in Fort Lee, New Jersey. And he was telling stories about Luther Vandross and a whole bunch of people. And which is crazy. Luther
Yeah,
Vandross is from,
he plays the guitar, yeah. I know you're
yeah,
talking
right,
about.
right. But he
And
also
he's a
wrote,
martial artist. You're right. He's a martial
yeah,
artist.
he was one of
Yeah.
Van Cleef students and also Joe's Orange. But so he's we actually saw this documentary of Bruce Lee that I saw it many years. His place was the first time that I saw it when it says be like water and get into that whole thing about. Anyway, I apologize, but that was driving me crazy. I'm
No,
forgetting the
no,
guy's name.
no, no. Oh wow, you met George Benson?
No, he was there that day watching everyone perform. He was in the audience in
Oh my
Harlem,
God.
and then from there we went to his house.
Oh my God. Wow, that's amazing. That's
We
amazing.
don't know who's watching, man. We don't never know who's in the audience sometimes.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true. But yeah, yeah, Jack Dart, that was the last tournament I competed before yours.
All right, now
And
Jack Dog, you
I
went.
like
That's
the way
Virginia. Wait, that's in
how you
Virginia. You went
setting it up.
all the way
Everything
down
is
to.
old school.
That's Virginia Beach. You went all the way to Virginia Beach.
Yeah, yeah. It's a big difference driving in your 50s and then getting out and competing. I drove all the way there. CJ rode with me. I drove all the way there and back.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. I couldn't wait
not
to
easy.
get back. I was like, it's
That's
not.
not easy.
Your tournament is a lot easier to get to. All I had to do is make it to Jersey, park my car, hop on the path, and
All
catch
right.
some
Let's,
subway
let's talk about that
stop.
for a second. When you found out. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that. I remember seeing you at probably definitely the biggest memorial that I've ever seen when somebody has transcended. Um,
Yeah,
that was crazy to be there was like the who's who. I've never seen anything like that.
yeah,
When Asatita passed away, I know he was happy as heck. That spirit must have been shining bright.
yeah, yeah. He put up out of all the fights in his life, that was his greatest fight. That was his greatest fight.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
did it in his style. He did it in his style. He did it with a smile.
Yes. Yes.
That was crazy. I would see him, and we had so much history. So all we did was laugh. You know me. If I'm around the place, guys, I'm sorry. 9 out of 10 times, I'm snapping. I'm snapping on my stuff, snapping on everybody. I'm making sure that we're having a good time because to me, life was always difficult for me. So when I had a chance to go to karate tournaments, I was a father at 17. That was rough. And then you're having 4 kids after that. So when I
Not
went to
easy.
tournaments,
Not
that's when I was
easy.
hanging out. I was just having a good time. And people used to get upset at me, but not tell me anything. But they couldn't understand why was I so happy. Man, I'm grateful to be here. I love martial arts, and I get a
Yeah.
chance to do this. When I go home, I have to go deal with honey do this and honey do that. There's a honeydew list, you know.
Yeah.
But so when you heard about the tournament, 40+ tournament, UMAN OG, get a chance to do it all over again. I mean, literally, we only had 3 months to promote the tournament, and you came all the way from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
What the heck was that about?
I said I have to help this. I mean, not help it, but be a part of this because this is going to
No,
be
but
history.
it is help. No, it is help. When you do your part, you are helping. There's no
Right.
question about it. I mean, let's keep it real. If your intention is to help to the point where you're willing to do your part, that's why I say us one. I'm not the tournament. I'm not the tournament circuit, man. I'm just the person that the creator gave the idea to, and the rest of us is as important. We all, from the spectator to the competitor, everybody.
And not to just the modern tournaments now. You're bringing back what I'm used to. You know, what I see out there is not the same. It's not the same.
And
Everybody fights the same way. Back in the day, you saw different styles. You actually
oh,
saw different styles of fighting. You don't see that now in the circuit that's out there. You know, Uh,
it's a sport now, and in the sport they all dribble about the same. They do the same layup, the same fake, and the
exactly,
reposition. No, man, styles were dangerous because you fight somebody from kung fu, you didn't know what they were gonna do. Them and jump on your neck and bite you in the neck. You don't know.
exactly, exactly.
And
And,
then
and I saw
Taekwondo.
that. I saw that the day of the tournament. I saw, oh my God, it's so amazing. All the legends. That's another thing. People that I haven't seen in years. I got to see them, and they still out there performing, still out there looking good, looking good. Oh my God.
And I believe that it's not a cliche, guys. Believe me, the best is yet to come because we taken action on it. The reason why martial arts tournaments aren't the same is because there's not the leadership that knows better. So I had an option. I can either educate the motivated, which meaning these kids nowadays, or I could motivate the educated who don't exist or around the circle no more. And I've said, you know what? Let me focus on. It's gonna sound funny. Let me talk to the grown people.
Right.
Let me talk to the grown people and inspire them to come out. When I saw Jesse Harris come out
Yes.
and compete,
Yes.
that was phenomenal to me. You
Yeah.
know, and then he did a jumping spinning hook to the ankle. You know, that was crazy. you know, even Trent Norman being there. Of course, when Toki Hill came in, we had a ball. So I'm looking forward to the next event, and I appreciate you, registered already. And all I want to do is show my gratitude to the people who participate because yes, it is helping, no question about it. You did what you said there was exactly proper terminology. It's helping because all of us, if everyone does their part, man, the magic that can be done.
Yes.
But people
Yes.
get caught up in nonsense, and I don't listen. I'm not one. I'm sorry, man. Life is too short for me to waste my time on nonsense. That I'm too busy looking good. You know, gotta bring
Right.
Jim Kelly to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And laughing. Hey, so on another note, and this is on a personal note, if you don't mind me sharing, you came all the way to the village about a few months ago, almost a year ago, and worked out with us.
Yes. That's right. That's right. I had a lesson in blitzing, how to blitz and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And the
And
footwork
that
and the circle drill.
that was awesome. That was awesome, man. I need to get more into that. I definitely need to. I think that will help me out too, especially coming off the line. I need to get
Listen,
more into that.
sniperfight.com, you're going to have access to that again.
Right.
Sniperfight.com, I have
Right.
11 hours of information there. If somebody's never trained a day in their life, if they go there and they follow, because it's movement that we've done in basketball and baseball and football. It's movement that we're
Wow.
used to doing. So it's applicable. So when I heard about sport karate, the concept, I said, then we should be using sports, plural, in the fighting. So if you're playing basketball, you shake and bake, baby.
Right.
Fake reposition, get behind the angles, do a finger roll. That's a back fist. So that those are the concepts that I believed in. But that's why if you notice, we did the circle drill.
Mm-hmm.
Circle this way, circle that way. I remember you said, wait, my legs.
And you did something like a hopscotch too. That was amazing. Yeah, I tried to replicate that when I came back to the gym the next day. Oh my God. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Uh
Well, I appreciate it. Well, again, that's the information that I'm going to do a live um, webinar that's going to be for all the participants. And literally, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Some will be here on location. Some will be, it'll be recording. I think I can help a lot of people become better at what they done because I was fortunate enough to go, different levels of martial arts and competition,
mhm.
national, international. But I think that a lot of times people train hard, but the formula that they're training with is not going to be successful. It's like if you're trying to, like you mentioned, Taekwondo, if you're trying to do point karate when you're supposed to be doing full contact Hogo, at least I should say used to, because now it's a different world. I stand
Yeah,
corrected.
yeah, that's a different world out there too.
Now they even switched that thing up.
Yeah,
But it used to be where you had to make impact. It had to be,
exactly.
and that impact, props to her Perez being and Arlene Limas both being gold medalists and friends of mine. And I interviewed them both for what it was worth. But it's a
Yeah, Herb
different
Perez
world.
is a legend. And
Yeah,
he speaks full Korean. I
yeah.
was impressed.
And, and, and he's another Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
right? But this Puerto Rican looks like a white guy that speaks Korean and Spanish too. What the hell? He's an attorney. He has multiple schools. Yeah. So, it's important because I believe that, we're all versatile. Now, for those of you who are watching, guys, I apologize. This interview has been slightly different from others because this gentleman, I appreciate a lot of things that he does. You know, I'm not
And
sure if
that's
he,
another thing I appreciate you doing too, doing this. This means a lot, man. This means a lot. We all deserve it, all the competitors to have a voice. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
well, it's my pleasure, and I apologize. Hopefully we got enough content over here. At 1 o'clock, I'm supposed to do a second one, so that's Rocky Rachel trying to make sure that
And I
she.
apologize the chronological order, man.
No, 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 no,
I'm digging in my, I don't want to stop and be paused and try to dig.
no, no. It'll
It's
be fixed,
53. Oh my God.
guys. Let me tell you, my AI posse will organize it accordingly, and within
Okay.
today, you're gonna be able to get, at the very least, a map of your personal history. Now, I don't know if it's going to show you, I don't know if it's going to show your Afro wig that I don't know if you still have the Afro wig, but it's going to give you, you'll be happy with it. And if we have to do another one, we'll do another one too. I have no problem. See, this to me is my opportunity to show the gratitude for the people who support the things that we do. And I think it's very important that people understand that for me, I do not take it lightly. I know the trials and tribulations that it takes to come from Pennsylvania all the way to the Boogie Down Bronx. And when
Not
people
easy.
come, I want to make sure that they know that it's highly appreciated. And yes, it is help. And I thank you for that help because us, all of us are one. We are made from the creator, and the creator is one, and one is everything. And I believe that, you
Me
know.
too. Me too.
Any last parting words or shout outs that you want to do? And I know when it's finished, you're gonna be like, oh man, I forgot this and I forgot
No,
that.
first of all, I want to shout out the Shaquille Warriors. Shout out the new Asatita, Kevin Thompson. He's doing an awesome job. I do plan to come back. It's been a little hectic lately with work and of course the snow. Also, too, I like to shout out all the Jersey martial artists, especially the Turtle System, the Goshi Shan system. If I missed some, I apologize. A big shout out to Mayor Ted Green, aka Tamir,
Right, right.
Rick the Brick, and shout out to AOBK. Shout out to Master CJ. Shout out to Bolin. Shout out to Bigfoot A Train, who I'm now under in Taekwondo. He promoted me to a 6th degree. I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful to Grandmaster Jerry Fast Feet Fontanez.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so guys, again, we have Wazir L right here representing again that smiles contagious, us one. And realistically, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I believe the best is yet to come. I'm looking forward to giving away the grand championships to some people who are training really hard. Because I know that this next event is going to be smoking.
I'm
But on
working
that
on some
note,
stuff. Hopefully it translates.
yeah. Well, on that note, what I need for you to say, when I say AB, you say see ya. AB,
See ya.
we out of here. Thank you very much. God bless.
Take care. You too.
All right. So, sir, I officially ended the Facebook one here. Then I'm going to text what would be Rocky Rachel, who's going to be in 5 minutes. I'm supposed to start hers. So I'm going to officially end this here. So this starts recording. But I
Okay.
thank you.
You welcome.
All
Take
right,
care.
sir. Appreciate it.
Us
Bye bye. Us
one.
one.